Hello everyone, and welcome again to these audio excerpts from my book, In Praise of Love and Being Home. This is the first part of Chapter 2, entitled, This Great Opportunity. Love is continually imploring us to help better the world we live in, and to participate fully in doing so. With that in mind, it's clear we are compelled sometimes to stand up and cry foul, and to defend ourselves when necessary, and to try and stop negligent, unjust, and cruel behavior in anyone we can. Love naturally helps us stand strong and be protective of our loved ones, and to speak up and be courageous in all the ways we can and must. Love accepts that there are times when we need to do these things. This is our great challenge and opportunity then, to see how love is best expressed while righting wrongs and calling out for justice and fairness to prevail. Each of us must see for ourselves how to do any of this in any instance, and to rely upon love to fundamentally guide us. And while being disturbed or even outraged about things might be a fuel for some kind of action or cause, it does come down to this. If we really want to create a world with more equality and harmony in it, a world with more peace and love in it, then these qualities are what we best embody and be responsible for ourselves, first and foremost. So, after any emotional response to any situation is allowed to be felt and any matter addressed, the bottom line question is always this: do we want to be filled primarily with love inside ourselves, or with anger, anxiety, depression, or despair? And again, the choice becomes much easier to make and make real if love is indeed our highest value, our deepest commitment, and what we give way to and rely upon most essentially to lead the way. And if we find ourselves being continually disgusted with things, in any moment we can be free to feel whatever we feel, including all the sensations that go along with being upset, disturbed, aggravated, and such. And then, whenever that is for any of us, we can bring our attention back, over and over and over again, to the unconditional love and God-filled peace that is ever present and ever available at our core. In any moment, we can stop and put our attention on this. Breathe and relax into this, into what is deeper and more fulfilling than what might be irritating us or infuriating us. Then it is much easier to loosen the tightness and self-inflicted suffering of our being too often upset or bothered by anything or anyone. And then it is also much easier to be forgiving and to give up any ill will we might have toward others. And it's clear that only by more and more of us being this way, being open-hearted and forgiving, does this world have any chance of improving. Really. Yes, love is forgiveness, and vice versa. Forgiveness is any moment's compassionate response to our being all too human, with all our imperfect ways of treating ourselves and each other, and the fact that we all make mistakes in this life. and forgiveness proclaims, with the deepest honesty, that we are still and always all right, no matter what. Still and always God connected, still and always home, where our inherent innocence, goodness, and inner beauty are assured. We can let our being all too human continually pay homage to this and bow down to this, to the unconditional love of our heart's truth, and aim to live according to it. Then we can be awakened and transformed in any moment by all that the origins and spirit of forgiveness make possible. How great that even when there might be people we need to be wary of, or avoid, or guard ourselves against, we can still and always feel safe and loving and loved in the deepest way, by trusting in our eternal bond with the source of all creation, certain that nothing or no one can ever separate us from that. Again and always, this love-filled, light-filled union is our very essence, our true self, our true home. And how good it is to continually hear this truth and its assuredness, and to take this hearing with us wherever we go. Right? How liberating it is to breathe and sense and surrender to this hearing, this truth-telling, and float freely here, in this heart-centeredness, this happiness and innermost calm, regardless of what else is happening in and around us, or how anyone else is behaving. Such is loving ourselves and anyone else in the deepest way, forgiving ourselves and anyone else in the deepest way, and being true to our true nature and our essential unity. So while we are always at home, always God-connected, our great opportunity in this life is to reflect and radiate this spirit, to actually and continually open to it, let go to it, and live it. This basic openness, this letting go, this trust, and its kind-hearted and big-hearted expressions can lighten us up and move us to bring this same light to others. This can be our mission, if you will, to help better our world by recognizing our mutually shared essence and common bond, and treating each other accordingly, by being one who deeply cares, who deeply loves, and takes complete responsibility for doing so. And how good it is to hold ourselves to this high standard of living as love, to be accountable to it, and wanting others to hold us to this as well. This is our being given to simple, loving kindness, to a gentleness and generosity of spirit, which is innately fulfilling and conveys our God-given wholeness and goodness. And again and always, we can show up to life in this way, be this way, live this way, if we really want it to be so, if we give our greatest allegiance to our heart's truth and truly value love the most. Then love will continually educate us on how to be, and be the central guiding force in our life. Love is indeed our greatest teacher.